I started shooting video for a local television station, an NBC affiliate, when I was 16. I'm 46 now, so you do the math. I knew I was going to do this as a career. I was 8 years old, and we were in a garage. We were at this garage sale or yard sale, and I cried and did one of those fits where you fall down on the pavement, and I wouldn't get up. My mom was walking around in a circle trying to pick me up, and we never did that kind of stuff. And we didn't have much money growing up, but I wanted this camera at this garage sale so bad, and my mother said, there's no way we can afford it. You're never going to use it. You're never going to shoot with it. And I bought it, or she bought it for me, and I went through so much film and shot. And my mom was a professional photographer. She couldn't believe how much film I went through. And I knew the first time I went to school in the 3rd grade and was taking pictures in my class on a field trip that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to capture things. I wanted to, it wasn't just because my mom was a photographer. It was, I wanted to capture moments. I wanted to capture things. How hard did I work in school? My kids are listening to this, so it's kind of hard. I'm not as good as I know I could have been in school, but I always knew from that early age what I was going to do in life. I knew I was going to be a photographer, so it didn't, when other kids wanted to be, a fireman and a spaceman, and other kids, were doing their math homework, I was, taking pictures and taking photography. And this is way before the digital age. So this was, getting film, getting enough money to buy film, taking the 24 shots that you had, and then, going and getting it processed. So, and waiting on that. So I was more involved in getting money to get film and taking pictures and that kind of stuff than actually doing my work that I should have been doing. But when it came to high school, and we got into high school, there was actually courses in photography, and there was journalism, and there was the yearbook in the school newspaper. And when that happened, I was making A's again. The other classes I wasn't really making A's in, but those I excelled in those other classes. And of course, that just showed me that I needed to do that, because after I left myself actually no other choice but to do that. There is a lot of pressure on having the qualifications and having the paper, having that diploma saying you can do this, and that you've gone through school. And I've never been, in the position, luckily, because I've been doing it so long, and I know people and I know how to do things, but I've never been in the position where someone wanted to see my degree before I, did a photo shoot for a major magazine. I've never had that. And I also never had someone really want to look at my portfolio. They can just tell, or they know about you. And this business is all about who you know. No matter what people tell you, it's all about who you know and how you get your foot in that door. And, but getting your paper and getting that diploma is the only way to go, because you need to get that. You need to have that to fall back on. You need to have that to show people that you're intelligent enough to go through that, that you can make it in school. But there's also, you need to have that ability to do, to be the best at what that paper says. It's, that paper says that you're an avid editor, or you're a producer or whatever, but you have to be a really good producer to actually keep that job and to get the jobs, because after a while, people aren't going to hire you. No, even if you have that piece of paper and they know you're not you can't do what it says you can do. Qualifications are important. Those pieces of paper are important, so much so that I had to go back to school when I was 32 years old to get my degree in film. And being 32, going into being in these classrooms with these young kids, I wish I would have done it when I was their age. They were really good at it. I was so overconfident when I went there, and I got put in my place very quickly. I needed to, in order for me to go farther in my life, I had to go and get that piece of paper. I had to get that diploma. I had to get that qualification, and I should have done it earlier. And it is very important to have it, but it's even more important to have the ability and be better than the next guy at doing what that paper says. I wouldn't have bought the Mazda 626 from my brother. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes in life. There's always a couple of things that stand out, but one of them is quit fooling around, work, be a producer. That's where the money is. That's where you're going to make your money. I enjoy photography, I enjoy the cinematography, I enjoyed everything else, but be a producer, because that's where you're going to make your money. And I think that I would tell myself at 16 or 17, don't do things for free. I did so many things for free because people would come up to me and say, we're going to put your name in the, you'll get photo credit or you'll get movie credit or whatever. I never in my entire life have gotten a job from someone seeing my name go in one of the credits or, my name appearing in a magazine with photo credits. These people are making a ton of money off of it and they're just hustling a young photographer, and those people should be burned. But that's what I would do. And I think that the big thing is this is a job. Take it like a job, and don't let it mess up your personal life, and don't let it don't let it become something that overtakes what should be really important to you. Keep those two things very separate. Get set on something that you're good at doing. Don't try to do everything. Don't try to edit, shoot, produce. You can't do everything because something's going to suffer in that process. So pick what you're really good at doing and stick with that, and then get yourself a good crew, and then you can do anything. But the way to succeed is getting out there and getting known and knowing people and getting your name out there, and doing work for free when you're young, not when you're older. Doing work when you're free when you're young, getting your name out there, it's who you know in this business. I'll tell you 1,000 times, it's who you know. It's not what you can do. It's getting your foot in the door that first time and proving what you can do, and then that's how you become successful in it. And and you'll also find in this business how small it is when you screw someone over, when you do something that is wrong to someone. This business gets very small. And you'll end up back with that person to get at some point, or someone that knows that person, because we're a very small clique. I mean, all of us that that work in this business, it may be a multi-billion-dollar business, but you're going to get hit. You're going to get stung by what you do. Karma is huge in this business, and it comes around, it stings, and it hurts way worse than what happens to you. You have to look at yourself and know when you failed, and know how you did it. And I always tell anybody, when they mess up in this business, I love helping students out. I love helping people out when they're first getting in this business. What I tell them is, that people always get upset about making a mistake, or not using the right filter, or not asking the right question. My answer to that always is, are you ever going to do that again? You've just learned that. You've just learned from that mistake. Are you ever going to do that again? And that's what I tell myself. Hopefully I haven't repeated a lot of the mistakes I've made, but hopefully I won't. But I mean, just learn from your mistakes and keep going.